and welcome to our Tele-observership webinar question answer session. My name is Dr. Prajwal Pokhrel, and I'm currently working as a medical officer at Health Foundation Nepal here in Dang, in Nepal. I graduated from Chitwan Medical College in 2023, and it's a pleasure to be one of your moderators for the evening. I'm thrilled to be here with you all to talk about an initiative that has shaped the professional journeys of so many aspiring doctors, including me. Today, we'll be diving into the Tele-observership Program organized by Health Foundation Nepal in collaboration with Nepal Health Corps. It is a unique virtual opportunity that blends clinical exposure and research training for international medical graduates and students. This program has helped participants gain US clinical experience, mentorship, research skills, and even letters of recommendations, all of which play a very critical role in the journey towards US residency. So we are here honored to be joined by two of our incredible mentors and leaders for this program. First of all, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Manoj Bhattrai. He's a nephrologist and a geriatrician practicing at Palms Beach Kidney Specialists in Florida, who leads the clinical portion of the observership and has been closely involved in the NCD Nepal study, which is a longitudinal study ongoing in Dang. Dr. Manoj, could you please introduce yourself to the audience here?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to learn about our truly innovative tele-observership program. I'm Manoj Bhattrai. I'm a nephrologist and I'm a geriatrician also. I practice here in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm assistant professor at Nova Southeastern University. And also I'm a nephrology faculty at Wellington Regional Medical Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj. Now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Yashasvi Pokhrel. He's a preventive cardiologist at Wake Forest University, North Carolina. He's the principal investigator of this ongoing longitudinal NCD Nepal study here in Dang and leads the research training during the observation.
Namaste, everyone. My name is Yashasvi Pokhrel.
Dr. Pokhrel, could you?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm Yashasvi Pokhrel. I'm a cardiologist at Wake Forest University School of Medicine. This is in North Carolina. I co-lead the research component of the program, and we have really designed a unique program where it really gives exposure for most participants. This is sort of their first exposure to any sort of dedicated research curriculum. And so this is almost like a bridge for design for clinicians, sort of like, between, bachelor and master's degree and research kind of stuff. It's a condensed. And so it really gives opportunity to build on sort of the basic skills in research. And so I lead the NCD. So I'm the PI of the NCD program. I do a lot of other research. My research interest is how to use the voice of the research participants in the research to, use cardiovascular prevention strategies. And so welcome everyone to this webinar today.
Thank you, Dr. Pokhrel, for your insights. Now I'd like you to meet Ms. Susagya Busal. She leads the ongoing NCD project, Nepal project here in Dang. Susagya, introduce yourself to the audience and how you oversee the project here in Dang.
Thank you, Dr. Prajwal, for your introduction. I'm Susagya Busal, currently working as a public health officer at Health Foundation Nepal as a research coordinator. My primary responsibilities include conducting and managing the NCD clinic at various locations. Along with that, I manage all the data collected from the clinic and support in planning and implementing the other qualitative and mixed method studies conducted under the NCD Nepal study. In addition to that, I also oversee all the observership application process. Along with that, I also facilitate the research training session to the observers where I teach citation management using EndNote software and conducting the literature review. Additionally, I also teach how to design a survey tool and manage the data using the electronic data capture system known as RedCap. And I also teach research design. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Susagya ma'am, for your insights. We're also joined here by two of my fellow moderators, Dr. Sylvia Maharjan and Dr. Ayush Vista, who have been instrumental in organizing this event. And that's not all. We are very excited to welcome back two matched applicants and former observership participants, Dr. Vijay and Dr. Omkar, will also be sharing their experiences and how this program contributed to their residency journey. So before we begin, a quick housekeeping note. We'll have a question and answer session towards the end. So please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box as we go. We'll make sure to get as many as possible. So to get us started, I'd now like to invite Dr. Manoj and Dr. Yashasvi to talk about the tele-observership program and walk us through it. Dr. Manoj, please, you can start. Thank you.
Yes, since its inception in 2017, what started as an in-person initiative has evolved into a cutting-edge virtual platform. It is designed to provide unparalleled clinical exposure and mentorship. Having personally experienced the observership journey before my residency, I recognized both the immense value and inherent limitations of traditional models. And this first-hand perspective has helped me customize tele-observership program, ensuring it's practical, supportive, and truly learning nature of today's learners. So why choose tele-observership program? We offer a unique blend of real-time clinical experience, personalized guidance, and career building opportunities. Many of our previous observers are now fellows in some of the programs, and many of them have already become faculty members all across the nation. So with this program, like imagine stepping into a live telehealth sessions where you will witness real patient care through secure screen sharing. What I normally do is I share my screen while I'm having interaction with my patients, and then I'll personally guide you through essential skills that is really needed for residency training, which is also helpful for fellowship training. And then I train you how to do medication reconciliation in US system, the art of history taking, and how to analyze and synthesize patient data that are collected during history and physical examination to formulate comprehensive assessment and care plans. And it's not just about observation. We also delve into case-based discussions when we see patients, and those cases can be related to nephrology and geriatrics. Some of that experience you will hear from our former observers later on in the session. And we talk about different topics like chronic kidney disease, kidney transplantation, dialysis, hypertension. These discussions are really encouraging. And sometimes I have a resident or medical student rotating with me, and you see the interaction that we have, and you learn from what residents or medical students are presenting in the clinic. Okay, and you also have opportunity to ask the question. You have opportunity to see how we are interacting with patient, how we are counseling difficult patients, what we are talking about when we are really considering really difficult patients also. So beyond clinical encounters, you get hands-on training on essential electronic medical record system and remote patient monitoring technology. We have staff in our geriatrics practice, and they are nutritionists. One of them is office manager. They train you on all these aspects. We are also very invested in your career trajectory. We want to make sure that we help you as much as possible. And my residency programs sponsor only green card, but those observers who have done really well, like we've been able to invite them for residency program interview. It's not a guarantee, but if someone is performing really well during observership, then there is, and if they don't need a visa, there is a chance that they can get interview invitation from the program once I recommend. And then we provide personalized mentorship. Our network of mentors have offered, helping out applicants with reviewing of their letter of recommendation and personal statements also during residency application process. We have provided strategic guidance for navigating the interview process also. We have conducted several sessions before with even associate program director and program coordinator to help guide observers that have rotated with us. And despite doing that, these are all factors that will help you, achieve success in getting residency program, but it's not a guarantee. There are still many observers who may not be able to obtain residency position. And what we have done is we have dementia program. We have involved many of our observers who did not get residency to that program, and many of them have been successful because it just boost up their CV. So unlike traditional in-person rotation, our virtual platform offers unparalleled convenience and clarity, especially it eliminates travel cost, because you can participate in these sessions at the comfort of your home. Yes, this is a paid program, but with a very powerful purpose, because I have to mention that this is a paid program. We charge $800 for a month of rotation, and all of that goes to the community. We don't take a penny. All our effort is volunteer. All of us work 100% volunteer. Everything goes to help the community. So we will talk about all the questions that you have in your mind later on during this session. But for now, I think that's all I have to say about the clinical aspect of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj, for your insights to our tele-rotation program. Now I'd like to ask Dr. Yashaswi Pokhrel to please shed some light on this tele-observership program and for the research aspect of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I think to add on what Dr. Manoj just said, so so I think the other unique piece of this is also the research part particular is really sort of like limited exposure to students even in the US and particularly so in Nepal. And so with myself actually going decades of training research and with that background, we actually designed it in such a way that you have so training on research requires long time, and so it's you won't be an expert in a short time, like 1 or 2 months. And so but what we have done is we have actually given you exposure to all the different elements of the research in terms of the theory and didactics, and that you can build on it, and then you can actually it's open, like in you can actually build on it. And furthermore, if this is something that's really of interest to you, that you're committed to it, and then we have lots and lots of opportunities to actually continue to work with us in expanding on research, in writing manuscripts. Like for example, we have several people actually leading several work, and like Omkar Jha, who actually probably will speak later on. He he participated in this program, but he was also doing additional research work, and he actually got a travel award to present some of our work to Washington, D.C. last year in a major national conference. And similarly, we had Susagya presented in the Netherlands, and these are all completely not just presentation, but they actually got complete travel over without any extra cost. So what we do is we have a research portfolio that's really no less than any international standards. And but for this program in particular, we start with the basics so that you can actually build on it. But if you are one of those person who really is committed to actually in research, then you have plenty of opportunities. So one thing I would like to add on, clarify a little bit what Manoj said about the money. So Manoj mentioned about the communities, and so let me expand on that. And so what do we mean by the communities is that we have been actually providing a really pragmatic research where we are providing like primary care to all of the research participants. We have almost 3,000 people in Dang where we conduct our main research. And so we've been providing primary care for them, taking care of like, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, tobacco use. And these have dedicated protocols, and others actually we also provide, and this is what the money goes for. It means that the money that we raise from this really goes to the participants on the ground. And so this is a really unique opportunities where, it brings clinical service. It actually, brings clinical skills, understanding of the US healthcare systems, electronic medical records. Plus, it also, raises your capacity in research, plus many other people. And so it's a really a unique model of using the money. And so, yeah, I'm going to stop there.
Thank you, Dr. Pukhrel, for your insights to this, to the research aspect of this telerotation. Now, Susagya ma'am, as you have worked with some of our matched applicants in the past, and you have been leading this NCD Nepal project here in Nepal, and also as one of the leading coordinators for this tele-observership program, how do you think that this tele-rotation and research will help us medical graduates to build an aspiring career in the US? What are your insights about this tele-rotation program? Please shed some light on it. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Dr. Prajul. I would like to explain it in Nepali so that it will be more clear. So मेरो ब्याकग्राउन्ड चाहिँ पब्लिक हेल्थ, अनि हामीले जसरी यो एक्सटर्नसिपको लागि रिसर्चको जुन करिकुलम हामीले डिजाइन गरेका छौँ 1 मन्थको लागि, त्यो चाहिँ मैले इन्टायर 4 वर्ष पब्लिक हेल्थ पढ्दाखेरि पढेको करिकुलम along with that, जस्तो अघि मैले मेन्सन गरेँ रेड क्याप भन्ने रेड क्याप सफ्टवेयर चाहिँ मैले कहिले पनि कहीँ पनि सुनेको थिएन, पढाइ पनि थिएन। मैले चाहिँ काम गर्दाखेरि आएर सिकेँ। हामीले चाहिँ त्यो पनि सिकाउँछौँ होइन। रिसर्चको एउटा हाम्रो जुन स्ट्यान्डर्ड करिकुलम छ त्यो चाहिँ मैले इन्टायर 4 इयर्समा पढेको करिकुलममा बेस छ। अनि अघि मनोज यशोदाइले भने जस्तो हामीले चाहिँ उहाँ चाहिँ अहिले टप रिसर्चर नै भन्छु मैले, मेरो रोल मोडल। अनि उहाँले चाहिँ सबै क्लासेसहरू लिनुहुन्छ, प्लस मैले चाहिँ रेड क्याप त्यसपछि गएर एन्ड नोटहरू सबै सिकाउँछु, जुन चाहिँ हजुरहरूलाई लाइक 4 इयर्समा पढ्ने कुरा चाहिँ 1 मन्थमा सिक्न पाउनु भनेको इट्स एकदमै हेल्पफुल हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ है मेरो पर्सपेक्टिभमा चाहिँ। अब यहाँ कति चाहिँ पहिले पनि अब्जर्भरसिप गरिसकेको हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरूले पनि आफ्नो अहिले रिसर्चको उसमा चाहिँ इन्साइट दिनुहुन्छ। अनि कतिको चाहिँ अब पेपर लेख्न पाए हुन्थ्यो भन्नुहुन्छ। मैले काम गर्न लागेको 3 इयर्स भयो, मैले अझै मजाले एउटा पेपर लिड गर्न सकेँ होइन। सो अघि यशोदाले भने जस्तो पेपर लेख्ने लिड गर्ने भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ इट्स लङ प्रोसेस के, जुन चाहिँ हामीले प्रोसेस पहिला रिसर्चको सिकेर अनि पछि हाम्रो एकदमै डेडिकेसन टाइम चाहिने भए भएर त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति हामीले म्यानेज गर्दैछौँ त्यो पार्ट पनि। अरू चाहिँ एकदमै मेरो पर्सपेक्टिभमा चाहिँ हामीले डिजाइन गरेको रिसर्च करिकुलम चाहिँ एकदमै बेस्ट छ। अब तपाईँहरू पछि अब्जर्भरसिप गर्न आउनुभयो भने चाहिँ थाहा पाउनुहुन्छ।
सुसक्या, तिमीले रेड क्याप भनेको कति यहाँ अब्जर्भरहरू यहाँ पार्टिसिपेन्टहरूलाई अलिअलि थाहा पनि हुनसक्छ रेड क्यापको बारेमा। रेड क्याप कुन कम्पोनेन्ट चाहिँ हामीले एड्रेस गर्छौँ, अलिकति 1 लाइनमा भनिदेऊ न।
ओके सो रेड क्यापको चाहिँ मैले क्लास दिँदाखेरि चाहिँ बेसिक जस्तो रेड क्याप चाहिँ कसरी पहिला चाहिँ हामीले त्यो वेब बेस्ड रेड क्याप चाहिँ कसरी हामीले लगइन गर्ने त्यसपछि लगइन गरिसकेपछि चाहिँ रिसर्चको चाहिँ जुन सर्वे क्वेसनहरू हुन्छ जुन चाहिँ हजुरहरूलाई पछि जस्तो रिसर्च असिस्टेन्ट पोजिसनहरू पाएर पनि गइराख्नु भएको हुन्छ युएस कति अब्जर्भर्सहरू डक्टर्सहरू अनि उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो क्वेसनरहरू बनाउनलाई चाहिँ हेल्प होस् रिसर्चको भनेर चाहिँ मैले त्यो रिसर्च डिजाइन कसरी गर्ने टुल्सहरू कसरी डिजाइन गर्ने त्यहाँ चाहिँ धेरै कम्पोनेन्टहरू छ जस्तो ब्रान्चिङ लजिकहरू कसरी लगाउने त्यो सर्वे टुल डिजाइन गर्दाखेरि सर्वे मोड हो भने कसरी पठाउने लङ्गिट्युडनल स्टडीमा चाहिँ कसरी हामीले डिजाइन गर्ने त्यो सबै कुराहरू चाहिँ मैले सिकाउँछु प्लस त्यो सफ्टवेयर युज गरेर चाहिँ हामीले कसरी डेटा कलेक्सन प्लस डेटा एन्ट्रीहरू गर्छौँ र त्यो चाहिँ डेटा फाइनल प्रडक्ट चाहिँ कसरी निस्किन्छ त्यो रेड क्यापबाट जस्तो हामीले डेटा एक्सपोर्ट गर्छौँ त्यो चाहिँ कसरी कस्तो खालको हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ सबै कुराहरू नै जस्तो एउटा लेक्चरमा हुने गरी चाहिँ मैले डिजाइन गरेको छु
यो चाहिँ के अरे यसमा अब धेरै कुरा नगरौँ रेड क्यापमा तर ब्रिफली के हो भन्दाखेरि अहिले युएसको स्टेट अफ द आर्ट मोस्ट स्टेट अफ आर्ट डेटा कलेक्सन टुल भनेको रेड क्याप हो होइन त्यसपछि चाहिँ we use this on ground in Nepal to collect data and we actually teach the basics of that which will help you beyond for example in early residency applications and because we as a clinicians research is I saw some questions the research is an important part of being a good clinicians and then just realizing that I think understanding this is really important.
Red cap basic exposure छ भन्ने बित्तिकै it's a good point for applicant हैन basically.
Thank you, Susaga ma'am, Dr. Manoj and Dr. Yashaswi for your insights to this tele-observership program and the research aspect of it, including how to use REDCap and its implications in the US as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for this introduction and for laying out the foundation of what this program has to offer. Now I'll like to hand over the things to my fellow moderator, Dr. Sylvia, who will be leading the next segment. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prajwal. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Sylvia Marjan, one of the moderators for today's session. I am currently working as a medical officer at Health Foundation Nepal, and I'm thrilled to be here with you all and be a part of this inspiring initiative of tele-observership. Like many of you in the audience, I'm also especially excited to speak to our guests today, especially Dr. Bhattrai and Dr. Pokhrel, who've played an integral role in shaping the tele-observership program here. We had beforehand prepared a Google Doc file where many of the students, medical officers, residents, and consultants have sent their questions, and we've selected a few thoughtful questions and the questions what we believe can shed light on both the clinical and research components of this program. So we would like Dr. Manoj and Dr. Yashaswi to answer those questions for everybody today. Now, starting with Dr. Manoj Bhattrai, the first question. What is the usual structure and schedule for the tele-observership program?
So the usual structure is, first of all, schedule-wise, I have clinic 2 to 3 times a week, and whenever I have clinic, either in the morning or in the afternoon. If it is in the morning, I start clinic about 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, and in the afternoon, I start 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. And if I have clinic in the morning, like I send Google Meet link or Zoom link to the observers, and when I'm seeing patients, I share my screen with observers through Zoom or Google Meet, and you see all the interactions live. And not only that, what you will see is, since you will be seeing my screen, you see how I'm doing medication reconciliation, how I'm talking to the patient, how I am examining the patient, how I am documenting my notes. Pretty much you see everything that any doctors do during clinical encounter. And I have medical students and residents sometimes. Medical students can be from anywhere. Residents can be either nephrology, for nephrology rotation, or for family medicine geriatrics rotation. And depending on which resident it is, the discussion is more focused on that particular topic. But we discuss common nephrology topics like CKD, hypertension, electrolytes balance, hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis, transplantation. In geriatrics, we talk mostly about geriatric syndromes like dementia, frailty, falls, medication reconciliation, polypharmacy, depression, malnutrition. All those things are discussed during those sessions. And while we see different kind of cases particular to that case, I give assignment to the observers to learn about the topic quickly while I'm doing the interaction, and they read about that topic and present to us when we are ready to discuss that. So that's how we make it interactive. And on those days when I don't have clinic, one of the other preceptors will take a class. It can be Susagya, it can be my nutritionist, it can be the office manager, to introduce observers to different components like chronic care management or remote patient monitoring or EMR navigation, different topics, different aspects of the clinical practice, so that they are well versed before they start their residency program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj. Can we start with the next question? Will the session timings be flexible or recorded for those with tight schedules or working clinical hours like interns or medical officers?
Yes. Sessions are those like in the morning and in the afternoon, depending on my clinic schedule. That is not flexible, and we don't record sessions yet, but now we have Zoom, and I think starting this year we might record Zoom session for those, like if there are like many applicants, observers who are not able to make it to the session, we might be able to record some of those sessions.
Thank you. How impactful is a tele-observership program like this in the context of the US residency match process? Can it help strengthen our applications or lead to further in-person observerships?
After you graduate from medical school, anything you do helps, whether it is research, tele-observership, in-person observership, working in the clinic as a medical assistant, anything you do that adds to your CV. More common than that, the questions we encounter is tele-observership equally effective as in-person observership? And I have reviewed applications, residency applications as a resident, as a fellow, and as a faculty also. So in terms of that, we really don't look at whether the patient, whether the applicant had tele-observership or observership, even research. Because if someone is doing research just from their CV, depending on what type of study they had published in journal, you can tell like what is the quality of research. Same thing with tele-observership or observership. It doesn't really matter. Like if there is a suspicion, or if I want to check out, I may ask some questions to the applicant about their rotation to see how well they did the rotation. I think that's all that all matters. Tele-observership has its pros and cons. Similarly, in-person observership has its own pros and cons. With tele-observership, you can do it at the comfort of your house from Nepal, anywhere. You don't have to travel to any place. You don't have to worry about lodging, transportation. You don't have to worry about taking shower before going to the rotation, right? You can do all those things, and you can see the screen live discussions. With in-person observership, one benefit that you see is if you are doing in-person rotation with me, which has happened in the past, what I do is I ask you to interact with patient. So your interaction with patient is better than than in tele-observership. In tele-observership, it's a little bit limited in terms of interaction with patient, but for in-person, that's the benefit. But screen sharing, medication reconciliation, seeing notes that I'm documenting is not so good when it's in person because it's not easy. Like usually they are sitting like quite far from me and they cannot really see my screen. So there are benefits and disadvantages of both of them.
Arko Kurasi, I think I'm going to add something here. So two things. One is, for in person, I think you have to. So there's a lot of cost. You have to even for to do 2 weeks of rotation somewhere. You have to find a way to live. You have to find a way to commute and all that, right? And also important, what I'm saying, visa, right? And so if you have to, you have to be able to get a visa, especially with right now, where the visa restrictions has been there, and so that could be other issues. And so your question ke aate bhanda chahi, will you be recording sessions? And actually, we record the research sessions. We record it. We actually share it. We actually ask people to look at beforehand. I can expand that later.
Yes.
Sylvia, back to you.
And if you have option, you can do both because variety is better. But if you don't have any option, like stick with whatever you find, this tele-observership or in-person observership. If you can find more, you have time, do as much as possible. That's definitely a plus.
Thank you so much. Next question. Are there waivers or scholarships available for the tele-observership? Are there any in-person rotations also available?
We used to do in-person rotations, and because of COVID, we stopped doing that because there was restriction from practice as well as hospitals. That's why we have not done that. But we may consider that in near future. We will let you guys know about that. We have not yet started, but we'll let you know. Regarding scholarship program, look at this. This is a volunteer program, and everything that's generated here in terms of revenue goes to support the program. That's why we have not done scholarship so far. While saying that, those people who go to Dang and work as medical officer for us for a year or so, they have been able to do it for free. But other than that, we have not offered it, but we might offer a scholarship program in the future, maybe 1 or 2 positions, but we will look for significant contribution before any applicant does the observership, because once you do the observership, we cannot drag them to do any volunteer work later on. But we want any applicant who is applying for a scholarship program to have contributed to our program before starting the rotation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manoj and Dr. Yashashvi, for your insights. Now, I would like to ask questions related to research to Dr. Yashashvi Pokhrel. How can we be a good researcher? If I start from zero, how long would it take for me to learn research?
So I'm still, I don't see myself as a research expert. I see myself as a research student. So I started research in 2007, right? So it's been a long time. And so I think one thing is that the purpose of this, the research program, is not to make you a researcher. The purpose is to make you a good clinician, because research, and then you can be a better clinician, or at least you have the basic foundation skills, right? And so that's sort of the purpose of the research. And then research is a really different animal, right? And so the learning paradigms, the learning things, and the skill set needed is completely different than what we do in medicine. In medicine, we actually learn the theory, and then saddle the experts, and gradually get the independence, and then become the doctors, right? And so and that paradigm is completely different in research. But having said that, without knowing research, you won't be a good clinician. And several medical schools in the US even actually dedicate one whole year for medical students to actually undergo research just for that purpose. And so what it takes to be a good researcher, a lot of stuff, it is it is a lot of, you need to master a lot of skills, but for the most important part, you need to know why you are doing it, who you're trying to help, what drives you doing research. And that should be clear, right? And so your motivation, because this is a long journey, this is an arduous journey, right? And so what does research mean for you? Is it just for residency application? Is it something bigger than this? And so a lot of stuff, but I think what we do is we give that comprehensive sort of high level exposure to this. And if you're one of those who really want to continue the journey, we can have conversation later.
Thank you, Dr. Pokhrel. Moving on to the next question. How important is research in the context of USMLE match process? Is it a must-have to get into residency in the US?
So I would say that, first of all, like Mona said earlier, neither the clinical program or like tele-rotation nor the research part of the program that is here will guarantee anything about the getting into residency. It's a lot of things go into it. One of the perhaps important thing is the score, right? And then your USMLE score. But because people from all over the world with competitive score comes, and trying to get into residency, every single drop, every single small little thing actually will push you over, right? And so, a tele-rotation like this, research, exposure like you'll have here, anything, maybe a case report publishing, maybe, publishing a paper, maybe having research experience working as a research assistant before. So anything will actually push you ahead of others, and then that makes you more competitive. But, if you don't have other most important thing that's needed, and then you're just looking on this, yes, you can do it, but that's not the most common scenario.
Imagine a bicycle competition. Okay, in order to win in bicycle competition, you need to have your wheels working properly, comfortable seats, your handbrake, everything should be working well. So you need to work on as many components of the application as possible. So यसले भन्यो scores. Orko most important thing is visa sponsorship. If you don't need visa, then there are a lot of programs that you have high chance of matching into. Similarly, research को experience, observership को experience छ, clinical अरू experience छ, पहिली related अरू कुराहरु experience छ, bilingual. So suppose Miami, if you want to do residency in Miami and you are fluent in Spanish, that helps. And there are certain areas where there are a lot of Creole speaking patients, and if you are bilingual and you are fluent in Creole, then your chances go up. So it depends on so many factors. It's not just like one or two: research, observership, scores, application. Then also most important thing is your communication skills. When you are there for residency interview, how you interact with the interviewer, how you interact with other applicants, your co-applicants, how you interact with other staff. There are so many things that we look into when selecting a candidate.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the next question. Will we receive personalized feedback or mentorship during or after the observership?
I'm sorry, yes. So I think, so first you have to understand that, so for example, how we do research is that, so we have dedicated lecture, dedicated articles to read, and then we actually, we meet. So the way this works is built on different sessions, right? And then we actually meet, and then And then, you will have read the articles, you'll have watched the videos, and then you have questions that you actually have written down while you're doing. And then we actually discuss that, and then we expand on that, right, when we meet. And then at the end, what we do is what we call something called a journal club. So what is a journal club? It is something where we assign you an article, typically a randomized controlled trial, and then you guys present a piece of a small part of it, and so you also learn how to present, because presentation skills is needed every day in our profession, right? And so we also teach about that, and then you present, and then what you're trying to do in the journal club is, let's say you have a patient right next to you who actually fits the patient who was enrolled in that study. Now, would the study findings actually be applicable to your patients? And so how confident you are, right? What are the problems, that you could face, or what are the challenges? And then, do we need another study, or is that study enough? And so these things are really important for clinicians every day. Like, when you're rounding, doctor would say, your faculty would say, go and look at in these questions and give me a summary of what I think. And so that's sort of what we actually eventually present, and then but before that, we kind of build into the skills to be able to even understand what the how to do journal club, and how to understand what means what, for example, because this language of wishes is something that we are not exposed to before. I don't know if I answered the question.
मेन्टरसिपको कुरामा चाहिँ आस्क आबा भन्ने प्लेटफर्म छ हाम्रो हेल्थ फाउन्डेसन नेपालको। त्यहाँ कति मेन्टर्सहरू छ, पहिलेको म्याच भएको एप्लिकेन्ट्सहरू, रेजिडेन्सी गरिरहेको, फेलोसिप गरिसकेको डक्टर्सहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूले पर्सनल स्टेटमेन्ट रिभ्यू गर्न, इन्टरभ्यू प्रोसेसमा हेल्प गर्न, धेरै कुराहरूमा चाहिँ पहिले हेल्प गर्नुभएको छ मेन्टरसिपको कुराले। त्यस्तै पहिले हामीसँग अब्जर्भरसिप गरेको दाङमा काम गरेको भाइहरू पनि एक दुईजना भाइहरू अहिले कार्डियोलोजी फेलोसिप कोही गरिरहेको अथवा गर्ने क्रममा भएको भाइहरूसँग पनि यसोको रिसर्च कोलाबोरेसन भइरहेछ। सो it can be just 1 month of rotation, or it can transform into like lifelong relationship also, depending on what the goals are for each of you.
अनि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ जस्तो बुझ्नुपर्ने कुरा के इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ, सो फर एक्जाम्पल जस्तो फर एक्जाम्पल वान अफ द if our work, research work, हामीले इभेन्चुअली पछि गएर पब्लिस गरेको वर्क चाहिँ if it's really एकदम उ छ भने, एकदम के अरे इम्प्याक्टफुल छ भने, समटाइम्स यस्तोले हेल्प यु। फर एक्जाम्पल ग्रिन कार्ड एप्लिकेसन लाग्यो पछि गएर, होइन, there are different kind of green card applications. त्यसपछि लगाएर चाहिँ okay, भनेर चाहिँ, I mean, there are help beyond all these things down the road, right?
Okay, next.
Thank you so much. Now, next question. Will the letter of recommendation be provided to the participant upon request? Will it be based on performance evaluation? Will it be personalized or generic?
So letter of recommendation saying it's actually personalized, within a background of a basic generic template, right? Just for example, research ko side ma saying it really depends on, for example, we keep track of people, how much people participate, त्यसपछि लाएर अर्को कुरा चाहिँ जस्तो अब journal club को मा चाहिँ कतिको engage भएको छ, त्यसपछि लाएर चाहिँ कतिको चाहिँ के अरे not because somebody is trying to show up, but really somebody who's genuinely interested. We really put that, we purposefully collect all that information, and we try to personalize. अब के हुन्छ त भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ जस्तो अब त्यहाँ स्कुलको चाहिँ डिएनले ह्याज टु लेटर, होइन, जससँग चाहिँ वर्षौंसम्म चाहिँ सम्बन्ध भएर त्यसपछि लाएर चाहिँ त्यस्तो खालको त हुने भएन, बिकज वी डोन्ट ह्याभ दी द्याट काइन्ड अफ एक्सपोजर, होइन। अनि त्यसो भएर चाहिँ it will be personalized, but it's in the background of a little bit of the generic letter. मनोज के एड गर्नुहुन्छ
त्यही हो यसोले भनेकै कुराहरू बेसिक एउटा हाम्रो स्ट्यान्डर्ड टेम्प्लेट छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले पठाउँछौँ तिमीहरूले कुन केस क्लिनिकलमा चाहिँ अब कुन केसहरू प्रेजेन्ट गरेको छ के सिक्यो त्यो कुराहरू अलिकति एड गर्नको लागि र त्यसलाई हामीले फाइन ट्युन गरेर अपलोड गर्छौँ तर you have we get your input also on adding your credentials, whatever experience you have learned during rotation.
Thank you so much. Now, next question. Can I include my teleobservership in the ERA CV?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Will there be any research opportunities to get involved in ongoing research projects or any guidance on how to start our own research as a beginner?
So I think let me do this. Let me ask that question to you, Sylvia, because we have worked on this. How do you answer that?
Yes, we can collaborate in the ongoing research projects. Not even if not directly, we can help through writing manuscripts and working on the unfiltered data, and also yes.
And also you can tell what you are doing next. Like you guys are gonna work with Dr. Yashaswi Pokhrel, right? As a research coordinator.
Just for example, I think Sylvia, I think Sylvia, Prajol, I think they're working on medication adherence tool, clinic evaluate survey tool. English I'm Nepal systematically the most rigorous science lab. We're translating and validating all that, right? And so your tool Nepali language speak Nepal declare by there's a lot here as well, and throughout the world, and they can use the tool. And so who's leading this? Sylvia Marjan is leading this. Prajol Pokhrel is leading this, right? And so the answer is pretty obvious. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
त्यो अघिको कुरा एकचोटि हाइलाइट गर त यसो जसले त्यहाँ दाङमा गरेको छ कति पहिलेको रिसर्चरहरु चाहिँ तिमीसँग आएर 2 इयर्स 1 इयरको प्रोग्राम गर्छ हैन अब्जर्भरशिप त्यसको बारेमा अलिकति भन त रिसर्चको
खास के छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ जस्तो अब जस्तो फर एक्जाम्पल हामीले के गरेका छौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ रिसर्च हामीसँग दाङमा रिसर्च गरेको उहरू चाहिँ हामीसँग 1 वर्ष चाहिँ हामीसँग आएर दाङमा चाहिँ एज अ क्लिनिशियन रिसर्चर भनेर क्लिनिशियनबाट लिड गर्छ त्यसपछि अनि उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ सबै कुराहरू सब कुरा मिले ताउत भयो भने चाहिँ I invite them to do another year of research here, and we sponsor visa, everything. But again, unfortunately, it's not a paid program. It cannot be paid, and it's a J1 scholar program. So they spend another year, and some people have spent 2 years, and then they spend another year, and then this much they saying they I mentor them almost on a daily basis, and research projects, plus they get a lot of exposure about clinical. They go with us in rounds, clinics, a lot of other stuff. They work with a really multi-site national team US just for example current I have a research fellow like that, and what they have actually done, they actually presented several abstracts at the American Heart Association national conference. They actually had one paper accepted as a first author. There's another paper just revised, and so there are 2 are actually in development. And so and I myself did like 6 years of research dedicated training. And so one of the training I did was from NIH for 2 years. And the NIH go to training just so I think sort of they model light in a way this is not just relevant for them to get residency, which is of utmost importance right now, but this is something they can actually cherish for the rest of their life. They can actually really learn and deeper, bigger, and and this is ideally for those people who really want to know, who actually are critical thinkers, who actually see the problems of the world, and they really want to solve these problems, as a researcher, and those critical thinking, long-term vision about मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ and this is most appropriate, त्यही मनोजले त्यही सोध्दाखेरि होला। Sylvia, next question.
Thank you so much. This was the question answer session with Dr. Manoj and Dr. Yashashvi. Now I would like to invite Dr. Ayush to continue with the session for the question answer session with our match applicants, Dr. Omkar and Dr. Vijay. Thank you.
एकछिन हामीले एउटा यहाँ आइस ब्रेकर गर्नु परेछ है यहाँ अलिकति। ओमकारको भर्खर बिहा भएको, ओमकारको लाइफ कस्तो भइरहेछ ओमकार? सुनेन केही पनि सुनेन खै, हाँस्नु पर्यो नि यार, क्या सिरियस कुरा मात्रै गरेर भयो।
हजुर दाइ रमाइलो छ दाइ भर्खर बिस।
ठिक छ, गुड, ल प्लिज क्यारी अन।
Thank you so much, Dr. Sylvia. And once again, I would like to thank Dr. Bhattrai and Pokhrel for your incredible insights on the tele-observership webinar. Now, before we move towards the next segment of the webinar, I would like to introduce myself first. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Ayush Bist, one of the moderator for today's session, and it's my pleasure to be here with you all. Besides, I'm also director of Nepal Health Corps. Let me briefly introduce Nepal Health Corps to you all. It is a youth-led organization that was established in 2019, which is dedicated to advancing health equity and universal health coverage here in Nepal. Our organization particularly works on empowering young medical professionals and students to implement community-based initiatives across the country. Till now, we have worked with numerous national and international organizations to achieve our goals on health equity and achieving universal health coverage. Now, moving forwards, let me introduce you all our special guests for today. These individuals not only participated in tele-observership program last year, but they also matched to the US residency program this year, and they are here with us to share their stories, reflection, and practical tips with all of us. So let's begin by welcoming Dr. Vijay here.
Thank you,
Dr.
everyone.
Vijay, can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you everyone for being in this webinar. And I want to really thank my mentors, Dr. Manoj Bhattrai and Dr. Yashashvi Pokhrel, because of their the whole telerotation thing. Then I think I became more stronger towards the match, and I recently matched. So my thanks to Dr. Manoj, Dr. Yashashvi, and this group. Thank you.
So let's start. Dr. Vijay, can you please introduce yourself to the audience here?
Okay, as I said, my name is Dr. Vijay. So I started my medical journey, USMLE journey a few years back, and I was back home in Nepal when I heard about this webinar, virtual rotationship, and I was skeptical at first. And then because I was still there and I didn't have any chances for in-person rotation, so I joined this group, and it was being a really, really helpful group for me. After the rotation, I was even in touch with Dr. Manoj with my all queries. Thank you, Dr. Manoj, for helping me out with all those things. Like anytime I had some problems, with my ERAS, some problems with my LOR and those things, I always used to talk to Dr. Manoj, and he was always there to help me. So it was not that 1 month of tele-rotationship. It was, as Dr. Manoj says, a lifelong training session. And then afterwards, he was really kind enough to recommend me for the interview in one of his program, where I had a very good interview and I was able to match. So after hearing all of that, so I am really indebted to this group and my mentors. Thank you.
So moving forward, we have prepared a few questions for you in order to let us audience help with their upcoming residency match. So shall we begin?
Sure.
So we have learned that you have experienced both in-person and virtual observerships. From your
Yes.
perspective, how did teleobservership compare to in-person observership in terms of value, learning, and mentorship?
Actually, yes, I had few in-person rotationship and few virtual ones as well. And if you compare it, Dr. Mono's already said it very good in very good words, like how it's different and how it's equal. But for me, I think it was one of the best thing that I attended. Just tell me, like I had on-site rotation in few of the things, and in one of them, I was just following the doctor around without doing anything. I was not able to talk to the patient. I was not able to see the EMR system or anything. I was just following around, see what he does, right? So I have that kind of experience as well. And I had experience where I was given a computer and EMR system where I was able to talk to the patient, put everything in the computer. So, it's different, but in this, it's like a mixture of both. I was able to see Dr. Monoz, how he interacted with the patient, how he put things in the computer, how he does the medication reconciliation thing, and how he ordered the labs. And afterwards, he will always give us topics like, okay, so this is very important topic for this one. So you guys read about this, and after this, we'll talk about this. So, all those things. And I feel like it was even much better than few of the on-site observership that I had. So actually it depends, but this observership is much better than many of the on-site things that you guys may have had.
Thank you. Moving forward, this is probably the most asked question. What would you say to someone who is unsure about joining a virtual observership, especially someone who thinks in person is always better?
But in-person is always better. It's not a statement. It's like it depends on so many things. Like Dr. Mona said, if you don't have visa, if you are still in Nepal, if you are still studying for your steps, so this is the best opportunity for you guys, right? You are in your home, and it's not like the whole day you have to use for this online thing. You just have few hours a day that you can go to this virtual observership, and the rest of the time you can prepare for your education, prepare for your steps. And even though if you are in the States, this is just 2 to 3 hours a day, and then it's easy for you to do your other things and do the observership at the same time. And it's not just clinical thing that you can do. You can do the research thing. You can learn about research. Like me, I was a clinician back home, and I really focused on clinics things. I didn't have so much exposure about the research, but now here going through this, I had some research exposure. I learned about research. I had so many things refreshed to me about research. Then now I am again, have something about research. I'm thinking about writing some papers and those things. So, so all of these things has helped me, and I don't think in-person is best always, and I don't think virtual is bad always. So it depends on the program. And if you compare this program, I have no doubt saying that this is as good as the inpatient one.
Forward, this is the last question. How did this program help you in preparing for the match, whether it be through mentorship, letter of recommendation, or research involvement?
I think all of them. This observership had helped me to match, because one of the things that I made through this observership is get valuable mentorship, right? So Dr. Monos was there from the start, from my ERAS application. Every time I had some problems, I just talk to him and he will guide me on how to do it. And afterwards, he was kind enough to recommend in his one of the programs. Then I had an interview from them, and I was able to do a very good interview. So I was being selected for the match. And a research thing also, when people were asking me about my research background, I was very happy to tell them that I didn't have a very good research background, because I was more focused on clinician. But recently I have this observership where I had a few sessions with Dr. Pokhrel, where I learned about research, and that had really changed my mind. So in the future, I'm really hopeful that I can go into research. So those kind of things. So everything has helped me. And I want to tell you guys, it's not that what will help and what will not help. Everything in the journey will help you. So
yeah, one thing I want to highlight is Vijay and Omkar, they are very smart people. And eventually it depends on you whether you will match to the program or not. Like what we do, like research, tele-observership, anything, your scores, they are good things to have, but how you present yourself during interview process, what are the things that you have achieved, how is your CV, all those come together. So it is you, like it's not because of us or any other things that you will get residency, but Bizay and Omkar, they have done a lot of things. They did really well in observership research, their scores. They presented themselves well during interview. And that was the main reason, like it's because of them. So if someone is not doing anything, they come do observership with us, research with us. So it's not gonna work. You have to be first capable of, getting that position.
And अर्को कुरा हामीले गर्ने चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि what we do is our goal is not just to let people come and go, and so we have a little bit of care and touch there, and not like for example Dr. Vijay Banassi just an ongoing relationship with Manoj पछि help भयो हैन interview बोलाउनदेखि लिएर आएर सबै कुराहरु गर्नलाई, so that you probably won't find elsewhere, एउटा कुरा अर्को कुरा चाहिँ प्लस चाहिँ जुन यो रिसर्चको एक्सपोजर हुन्छ हैन, रिसर्चको एक्सपोजर भएर चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ the different door that most people actually haven't seen before, and then that also के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि that also is kind of unique to us. And so that sort of caring, helping, your multidimensional program, I think it's really a unique blend.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vijay, for your insights. I hope this has answered most of the queries from our audience. We'd like to congratulate you once again and wish you all the best for your upcoming residency. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ayush. So if you have any questions, just leave me in the chat, then maybe I can able to answer in the chat as well. Thank you.
Next, we have Dr. Omkar, who also matched into the residency program and worked very closely with both Dr. Pokhrel and Dr. Bhattrai. I would like to welcome Dr. Omkar.
Hi, सबैजनालाई नमस्ते. Thank you so much, Dr. Ayush. So this is a fun fact that this is, I think, the first time that Dr. Vist and I am speaking. We actually did our pre-meds together during Vibrant, and we sat on the same bench. And this is the first time that I'm actually getting to speak to him after such almost 7 years. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much, Omkar. Can you please take a moment to introduce yourself?
Okay, so फेरि सबैजनालाई नमस्ते. So I'm Omkar. So I did my medical school from Kathmandu University School of Medical Sciences in 2023. And after that, I went to work with Health Foundation Nepal in Dang under the mentorship of both Dr. Pokhrel and Dr. Bhattrai. There I got involved in the NCD study. I got involved with various different projects. I also got involved in the psychiatry rehabilitation center. So I worked there for almost 1 year. And after that, I moved to the US at Wake Forest University, again under Dr. Pokhrel, where I stayed there for almost 8 months. And during that time, I applied for the Match 2025. And fortunately, I matched and I'm here today.
Kere, before I forget, I just want to say, actually, I have never ever actually heard anybody from Nepal as an IMG get interview from program like Duke, and actually Omkar got program interview from Duke, right? And so I think part of it is, and not just Duke, there were several other really high caliber life-changing program interview. The point is that and that the research element, let's say, actually bring that thing. There are so many sharp clinicians, just by itself, no, you won't get it, right? And the research elements actually brings that up. So just want to say that.
For Dr. Omkar, we have also prepared some questions. So shall we start?
Yes, sir.
So how has this tele-rotation helped you? Could you share an experience or activity during the tele-observership that you found particularly impactful?
Okay, so like in the interviews, they ask you almost anything that is listed in your application. So I listed this telerotation program in my CV, and there was something mentioned of the EMR system that I got exposed to almost 3 different types of systems. So they asked me that how were you able to do this telerotation, how were you able to incorporate this patient information virtually? So they can ask you almost anything. So I was able to answer those questions because I was exposed enough during this telerotation program. In the in-person, you don't get exposed to it that much, but you are just seeing the screen of Dr. Bhattrai and how he types in information, how he reconciles note, how he manages his medication. So those experiences that you can then talk about them more fluently during your interviews, and you can be more confident. And I think everything was really helpful. And the more you speak about it, they understand that, yeah, it gets exposed. They know certain things. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So now moving forward to next question, as we know that you had the opportunity to work directly in the NCD Nepal study, can you talk about how that experience combined with tele-observership shaped your approach to clinical care and research?
Okay, so NCD study, this is a study that we are doing in Dang. So I got involved with that for almost 1 year, and where we manage various kind of non-communicable diseases. So I was able to not only get involved in that study, but I was also able to refine some of the protocols there. And I was able to change certain aspects of that program, and that I was also able to include that in my LORs, in my applications. So yeah, everything helps. Like they can, even a small thing in your application, they'll just take it out and ask you a question about it. What is this? So yeah, I was asked a question, what did you do? What protocols did you change? So everything helps. So that was during my in my NCD study, and I was exposed to lots of research. Like I was able to fortunate enough to lead 2 papers as a first author, and I was also able to contribute to 4 or 5 other different projects. So everything helps. Everything that you are able to put in your CV, that helps. And yeah.
Lastly, could you tell us how the program supported you in the latter stages of your maths process, from writing your personal statement to interviews?
Okay, so like I said, I mentioned something in the chat that I wrote my first personal statement and I showed it to Dr. Pokhrel, and he said, "This is crap." What is this? So he told me to refine this, every small aspect, like this is not nice, remove this part, change this. So I prepared my second draft, I showed it in third draft, fourth draft. So it was almost 8 drafts that finally we got to say, yeah, this is okay, now you can send it. So everything, Dr. Pokhara and Dr. Bhattrai are helpful through every part of the process. We did mock interviews together. He looked at my CV. He looked asked me to change certain things. He didn't understand, or he found that Americans wouldn't understand what is included in the CV. So everything through the applications, through the interview preparations, mock interviews, personal statements, LORs, everything, they have been really helpful.
And so this ends the question answer session. So again, once again, we would like to congratulate Dr. Omkar for his recent academic match and personal match as well. So we are very much thankful for you being here and share your experiences to our audience. I'm sure that our audience found lots of encouragement in your words, Dr. Vijay and Dr. Omkar. And for continuing the another part of the session, I'd like to hand over the session to Dr. Prajwal again. Thank you.
Yeah, so when Prajwal is coming, I just want to say 2 things. And then one is we talk about the program in Dang. So if anybody is really interested in this, and particularly, for example, if you're a critical thinker, you actually are really interested to build a career in research, we'd love to talk to you. Okay, for 1 year, working as a getting medical officer in Dang. And I also want to say before people leave here that next observership will probably start next month, May, like in a few days, maybe, the between May, June, July, and I think people apply September 15th. And then I think once Prajwal moderates, I think we should also leave the mic open for anybody to come out and ask questions.
Yeah, let's because it's almost 90-minute mark, so let's wrap up and answer a couple of questions.
Thank you so much, everyone. Dr. Omkar, Dr. Yes, thank you, everyone. Dr. Omkar, Dr. Vijay, for your insights to the match process, and Dr. Manoj and Dr. Yashaswi for your insights towards the tele-observership program. And this has been a very inspiring and insightful session. So I think most of our questions have been answered already by our moderators and by our matched applicants regarding the involvement here in Dang. Like me and Sylvia, we are currently working as the medical officers here in Health Foundation Nepal in Dang, and we're getting involved in various research projects. We look after the clinical aspect of the local community as well, and moreover, we're also looking after a psychiatric rehabilitation center here in Dang, which is also one of the perks of getting involved in Health Foundation Nepal. Are there any more questions from anyone? Please, the mic is open. You can ask the question directly to any of us.
Yes, the med student can be involved in research in Dang, but again, it's one can become a clinician after 3 years of training, residency, right? But to become a researcher, like I'm still a student after decades of training. So yes, if you are actually interested, please do. If you are one of those person who is committed to who really wants to have a career in research, yes. Or even not that, right? You want to get other exposures. You want to be involved. Please reach out, and then we will explore that further.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Susi. So there's another question from Abhimak Pokhel. Are these tele-rotation programs conducted every year? How do I keep myself notified of these programs? I'm too early for the tele-rotation program for this year, but I'm interested to partake in them maybe after my graduation.
I can take this again. So I'm looking on someone that's saying match application deadline saying September 15th. So I know there was saying you want to get a letter of recommendations and then have all that ready. And so I'm generally saying we found it better that we actually started doing this in starting May, June, July, August, and so any of those, so you can have one of our email address, and then you can actually contact us during this time whenever you're interested, whenever you think you can do it. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Yashaswi. And in the Google Docs file, we also saw some of our participants here that they were interested in psychiatry. So just a quick mention that Health Foundation Nepal also has exposure to various psychiatric programs here, like involvement in a rehabilitation center. So you can contact the email address of Health Foundation Nepal to know anything further about that. On the behalf of, I think this is it. So I think we should wrap up the session. So on the behalf of all the moderators and organizers, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our incredible mentors, Dr. Yashaswi and Dr. Manoj, taking the time to not only share their expertise, but also their genuine commitment to uplifting the next generations of us international medical graduates. To our matched guests, Dr. Vijay and Dr. Omkar, thank you for your honesty, encouragement, and all the best to you for your future.
You can type our email, Susage. Please type the email in chat box so that everybody has the contact information if they have any questions and they wanted to get in touch with us.
Sure.
Okay, my email is there. Okay.
Yeah. So to our matched guests, just like I mentioned, Your journeys really reflect the impact of strong mentorship and consistent effort and right guidance. And all the best for your future endeavors in the US. A big thank you to
Sorry, last 30 seconds. Kasala ki questions are open mics when you can come in while you can prepare that while Prajwal is finishing up.
So a big thank you to all my fellow moderators, Dr. Sylvia and Dr. Ayush, for steering the conversation so meaningfully. And of course, to all of you in the audience, thank you for joining us today. Whether you're just starting the journey or you're in the middle of it or you were thinking about it, we hope this session has given you a clarity, has given you inspiration, and most importantly, a direction to what to pursue next. So this tele-rotation program is more than just a rotation. It's a stepping stone to the community and a bridge to opportunity. For those of you considering applying, I encourage you to take the step. If you're ready to put in the effort, you'll find a network of mentors, not only Dr. Yeshua and Dr. Manoj, but a wide variety, lot of American Nepali doctors who are there to support you as well. So, as mentioned earlier, I'd like to thank organizations like Nepal Health Corps and Health Foundation Nepal, who are playing a key role in guiding applicants towards observership, scholarships, and long-term academic opportunities. So please stay connected through our platforms for future updates, deadlines, and application tips. And finally, don't hesitate to email or reach out to any of us if you have any questions in the future. Wishing you all the very best in your journey, and we look forward to seeing many of you succeed and in the upcoming tele-observership. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for being the part of this webinar.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for the time and effort you put into this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the moderators. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for all the participants joining in. So, we hope that this is helpful. And again, really grateful for the opportunity to work with all the colleagues who actually made this webinar success. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.